In the weeks before I was born, Najiba Shalbo prepared carefully for the arrival of her new baby. She gathered together pieces of cotton fabric saved from flour sacks and sewed a small swaddling blanket, as well as a pillow and some garments, which were traditionally the same for boys and girls. Najiba lovingly embroidered the baby blanket, pillow, and clothes destined for her baby, and his many siblings to follow. And the crib was made by the village carpenter, Abu Hikmat. Abu means father of in Arabic, and if a man has a son, you always identify the man as father of his first son's name. As I was the first son, my father was called Abu Jamal, even though I had 6 other brothers and was the first of 10 children. It's the same for a woman, where means mother of. To this day, Najiba Shalbo is greeted as Jamal. When my mother's time came, my father went to fetch the midwife to help with my birth, but found she was assisting her daughter-in-law, who was also in labor. It's a rare situation in a small village to have 2 children born on the same morning. I was my mother's first child. She was just 19 years old, and I was born in my parents' bedroom. My mother told me that she was in the middle of a powerful contraction when the midwife finally arrived. "This is the easy stage," the midwife assured her. My mother was not at all happy to hear this. "Get away from me, you bitch! I'd rather have a whore for a midwife." The midwife laughed and began her work. "After you were born," my mother used to say, "your grandma put salt on your body and washed you in a small tub in the other room in the house. She rubbed you with olive oil and ground myrtle leaves, put coal around your eyes, and dressed you in the clothes we had prepared. Then she brought you to me. You were very small, and many of our friends and relatives thought you wouldn't survive. But I whispered in your ear, 'You will live.'" My mother told me the story of my birth many times over the years, but I was most touched by it when I was just out of prison the first time, and she told it to me yet again. Perhaps it was because I could relate the story of the hours following my birth to the new life of freedom I was experiencing outside prison. My father understood freedom in his own way. "Be your own boss so you don't have to take orders from other people." This was why he chose not to work in the asphalt company that was one of the main employers of our village, founded by the French in 1927. My father had another theory, which was that farming was the most honorable career because it provided food for everyone. He loved farming. I thought of him on the plane to Canada when the flight attendant gave us a form to fill in. I looked at the flag at the top of the form, and my eyes rested on the maple leaf, which I knew was the Canadian national symbol. I thought of all the different symbols that nations, companies, and individuals chose to represent them, and decided that, if I were asked, I would choose the apple. Not because of the biblical story of Adam and Eve, but because of memories of my own life from many years before, and one memory in particular. Image: Faryeh, a green village on the northwest of Syria, where the houses are located among the orchards. Caption: Faryeh, the green village where I was born and spent the first 17 years of my life. My father was a pioneer farmer in our village, Faryeh, in Syria. He was the first farmer in the area to plant golden delicious and red delicious apple trees. When I was about 4 years old, I stood watching him as he dug a series of holes and began to plant seedlings in them. "Plant me, Dad," I said. "Why?" he asked. Stepping into one of the holes, I explained, "I want to be an apple tree, and then Mom will gather apples from my hair." My father laughed. "But then you couldn't move." "Change me into a movable apple tree," I said. I felt like an old apple tree sitting on the plain. When the flight attendant offered us a drink,